make this quick. Okay, let's start off with that. Okay, here's how I'm gonna want Consul and meeting set up.
Protect the bombs.
So we're probably gonna
10
want
seconds
like
to insertion.
a
5 seconds.
bandit
Increase
or
surveillance on
a
bombs. Op 4 has a diffuser.
or a Kaid on this point. And here's why. So first we're gonna reinforce the cabinet area, all 5 of these walls. Because we're gonna be having somebody holding cabinet, and the reason being, it allows you to see into that window, these 2 windows. Stops anybody from basically coming into the majority of cabinet. So you reinforce these 2 walls, and then you reinforce the 3 back here. And I really want to run a Kaid here, because, first let's open up this hatch. Your Kaid can throw one of his sticks around here, and that will electrocute these 3 walls. And the reason why you want to put it down there, not only can it reach through the floor, but also, if anyone tries coming in from above, because there is like a window up there that people can use, it prevents them from being able to break it. Another play, and it also prevents it from being broken from everybody over on the window. So just placing it near the floor is probably the best idea. So that's where your Kaid is going to be setting up. Or bandit. Your bandit can just set up 3 boxes on there. You don't need to electrocute these walls. These are more so for protection rather than actually stopping people from getting in. Next, we're probably going to also have a Thunderbird. Thunderbird's going to be reinforcing 2 walls in meeting. And then setting up all of her healing stations. Or, I mean, your Thunderbird really, realistically, should reinforce all of the meeting room, which is probably the best idea. Then your Thunderbird is gonna come out here and is gonna play over in this room. And the reason why I say this room is, like, we're probably gonna have a smoke. So smoke is gonna be coming up here first. And this is all gonna be preparation for your Thunderbird. You're gonna come up here, you're gonna shimmy on your back, opening up this entire wall, more or less. Okay. And the reason why you would want to open up this wall large enough is so your Thunderbird can play back here and shoot anybody coming up on the stairway. And also you can probably shoot out this hatch for your Thunderbird in case they ever need to escape. So that's what your smoke's going to be setting up. Then your Thunderbird's going to come here and switch places with your smoke. And your smoke's going to come and hold in meeting room. Your Kaid is going to be holding over in the Consul room, over here. And then your last few people, you could probably run a Jager. Jager can set up one of his ADSs here. You can set up another one here. He could set up one back here. So that's where Jager's gonna be doing things. Your Thunderbird healing stations, you can place one back here. You can place another over in the corner with your Kaid. And your last one, you could probably place like around here-ish. Or if not there, you can place it around here. Like behind this white thing. Your Thunderbird is probably going to be running impacts unless we have a Caveira or anybody else with impact grenades, like Alibi. And basically, you're going to throw an impact on this wall, and you're going to blow both of these open at the same time. And there's reasoning for that. Another place where you could blow open the wall is from this side. So like if you aim it perfectly in this corner, that's probably better. Because it gives you access between Consul and meeting. However, this window is probably going to be having somebody on it. So we're going to run a castle, going to put up a castle barricade here. Going to place up another castle barricade here. Another castle barricade here. And then your final castle barricade is going to be going on this window. And that's for your Thunderbird. That one is to prevent anybody from coming in quick. This is to keep people like on exit stairs for a little bit. But yeah. And the reason why we have these rotators is so that your team can quickly rotate between these three rooms whenever needed. Since that's going to be covered, it allows you quick and easy access in between these areas. And it may not be that important, so we may not have to do it when it actually comes down to doing it. But it's good to keep in our back pockets if we ever need to. So yeah, Castle, Thunderbird, Kaid, Smoke, and then really any other impact character, probably a roamer of some sort. Oh wait, I did say Jager, didn't I? Yeah, you could also run Jager on this point. And you can just kind of, you either have a Thunderbird open this up with impacts, or you just kind of forget about it. You could just forget about it, really, it's not that important. However, one thing that is important is reinforcing this middle wall in Consul, whoever decides to end up doing it. And this is just to cut off LOS, because even if I were to open up this wall as an attacker from this window, it severely limits where I can shoot. Because had this not been the case, then the attackers could hit practically anything in Consul room, being able to control this entire waiting room, all of Consul, and like half of the meeting room just from this one window, which is why we have a castle barricade on it, which is why we're reinforcing this wall, so it just kind of cuts them off a little bit. You could also like have somebody play around here, keeps them protected from that, the bomb protects them from that, and there's a crossfire. But that's about it for this point. Your Smoke can either run a barbed wire or a deployable shield. I would honestly say bring the razor wire. And the reason behind the razor wire is, what do you call it? The reason behind you would want to use razor wire, you can put it up on the yellow staircase near meeting room to try and give like a heads up to both your Smoke and your Thunderbird that somebody's coming on yellow stairs. And then you can put another one right in front of the castle barricade on service stairs in case anybody tries pushing in from there. This lobby is going to be interesting. Okay. The main mistake that a lot of people try and make in lobby and press room is that they try and keep everybody on the point in conventional ways, but that just isn't going to work on this map. It simply just will not function because you are just too close to the attackers, and there's too many windows. Like, for example,
10 seconds remaining.
this window,
And counting. Bomb location secure.
this window, that window, that doorway, this doorway, this hatch, and also this hatch, and this doorway. And that's not even counting all of these back walls. So that is already 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different ways to get attacked in just this small area. So you can play it conventionally. So here's what I'm gonna recommend. First, we're gonna start off with probably a smoke. Smoke is really good on this map for area denial. There's usually a lot of ways that people can enter the building. So you're gonna have smoke set up in here. And then you can reinforce this wall as well. And then you can sort of shotgun out the top. And the reason why you're shotgunning out the top here is so that way, like, you could run back here, you can throw in your smokes, it'll hit the doorway. Like, you can smoke up here, you can smoke the hatch. And then finally, another thing you could do, you can, like, shotgun part. You can basically make a rotate hole here, crouch height. And this allows you to smoke the windows as well. So you're able to play near this corner if you want to. Another thing you could do, you could set up the impact hole here on this wall and reinforce this one. The only downside of that is it allows anybody from exit stairs to be able to shoot you in there. So just keep that in mind. Yeah. So that's basically where you're going to be playing is smoke. You know, on this objective, you could run the deployable. If you put the deployable along here, you're able to, like, either go prone or just regular crouch across the impact hole. So if you ever do want to gas, you just have to throw it a little bit up. You should also reinforce this wall, upper bath, so that nobody from this window can, or even over here, can shoot you in. So it basically gives you safety. So your smoke's going to be playing in here. He reinforces these walls. Then you're also probably going to have a Thunderbird again. Thunderbird's going to come in here, reinforce this wall, this wall, and then you just start setting everything up. You put in one of your healing stations in this room. You place another one in this, like, center desk at the lobby. And then your last one should probably go somewhere around here. Like either in the piano or over in this corner of the press room. And basically that gives your smoke healing, that gives your other two anchors healing. Then you're gonna have an Ella. Ella's main job, she's gonna set up her Grismots wherever she wants, really. But her main job is gonna be grabbing the hatches. And the main hatches on this point are the one in meeting room, which you're gonna have to reinforce, but I already shot it out because I'm stupid. And then the other one in Consul office, where your Kaid. Now keep in mind that the enemy team is probably gonna be running up. It might decide to do some carpentry work. And what I mean by that is they're gonna be playing vertically. So they're gonna try looking down here. They cannot see into the bathroom, as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, no, so the bathroom's closed off. But it's just not... Like, the whole point of this is vertical play. So you need to be able to have one of your like both your roamers basically on second floor, and then everybody else is holding out on first. You have your smoke in here. Your Thunderbird and your Ella can really do whatever. You could also run a Maestro. You can, where is it? There's something you can stand on in this room. Yes, here. You can set up one of your Maestro cameras up here. That gives you a full line of sight all the way down both objectives into that hallway and outside. So having this Maestro camera here alongside with somebody holding in here, that would probably be good because your Maestro is probably going to be holding in this room, in press room, probably around back here or behind the piano. Keep in mind this piano thing is destructible, but this part isn't. So you just could kind of have them shimmying around here. If you really want to, your smoke can play in that room, and your Maestro can play in here instead. Just keep in mind the cost of that is that your smoke can only control press room. He can no longer control antechamber or the lobby from that position. So, yeah, and then your final person here can really be whoever you want. You could play like a Rook or a Doc here. I'd probably say Rook, because Doc won't be able to heal any of his other anchors on this point, and you already have a Thunderbird. So just place down like your Rook healing thing somewhere around here, and then he just chills in here. Maestro can use his camera to tell your Rook where everybody is pushing. You're gonna have your Ella and your Thunderbird on second floor, like controlling the vertical play. So he can just kind of sit here and shoot wherever he wants. If he wants to change it up, your Ella can bring a deployable shield, put it here, and then your Rook can play in this room, which allows him to see both objectives and over there. But yeah, that's basically how you're gonna play this. If you don't want the Rook, you could run a Castle instead. Castle can hold this point pretty well. But wherever that person does decide to hold, make sure to put a reinforcement on one of those things. Just so that way, the reason why I'm telling you to do that is because let's say the enemy decides to go under and they do have a buck, and you don't reinforce that and you're just standing on it, their teammates can call, and then they just shotgun that, you fall to the ground, and then you're just kind of dead to Buck's shotgun. So that would be kind of unfortunate. Because that's what this map really is. There's a lot of hatches and a lot of soft floors. So vertical play is just king here. You can't just play horizontally. If you want to, you can send your Thunderbird under with a piece of C4. And what their job's gonna be is, like let's say your Thunderbird does go down here just to control this area and run C4. If any person tries to come through this area, you can toss up the C4 on that ping. You can tell somebody else to watch the Visa office cam, and as soon as anybody walks near that plant, tell your Thunderbird and then detonate your thing. And that's probably just like a free kill with the C4. If you don't want anybody to be alerted to the beeping, you can do it preemptively as well. But yeah, that's pretty much the play there. Okay. Archives tellers. This is going to be a really weird objective because we're going to play really split. Like, if you thought the vertical play on the lobby area was a little weird, this is gonna be, like, a whole other thing. Here's how.
Protect the
So,
bomb.
I'm gonna
10
start
seconds
off
left.
inside this.
5 seconds. Op 4 has yet to locate
So
a bomb.
we're gonna want a smoke, Jager, Aruni, Castle, and a Valkyrie. And here's why. Reinforce this corner in tellers. And this is gonna be your smoke zone. Your smoke's gonna reinforce all of this. Open a 6-shot rotate hole. This shotgun. And that's basically supposed to be running height. Keep in mind that the Spaz 15 has a different spread pattern than the M59, so I'm not as used to it. But yeah, that's how you're gonna do that. Then you're gonna set up one of your Aruni things up there. Your smoke is then gonna open up this hatch, and it's gonna toss up an Aruni thing on here. And then you will reinforce this in archive. Your smoke will then open up a 4-shot rotate hole into this room, the storage room. And then your smoke's gonna play down here in the archives, wherever he wants to, okay? Your Aruni's job is going to be playing in this archive, in the storage room, right next to the archives as soon as the round starts. Okay, just clean that up a little bit. But your Aruni's gonna be playing in here. She's gonna, as I've already said, one thing goes up there. Another one will go into that wall. And then your final one, if you really want to, you can cover your flank in this room by placing it on this back wall. Honestly, that's probably the best thing you could do here. But yeah. You're probably gonna want to run impacts as Valkyrie, and you'll see why in just a moment. But your Valkyrie setup is going to be throw up a camera into that corner, or just really any corner of this room. Just put it somewhere in the top area. Then you're gonna come along here. You're gonna reinforce the visa. Both these hatches. You're gonna come over here. You can place another one of your Val cams somewhere in this room, like probably up there. And then your last Valkyrie cam is going to be going in this room. So you could probably throw it up somewhere over one of the central servers. And that gives you access to this entire room. And the reason why you're gonna wanna run impacts as Valkyrie, you're gonna open up that over here. And you're gonna be opening up like, let me get to second floor. Or actually, you don't even need to be on the second floor for this. Then you're gonna also open up around there. Okay? And there's multiple reasons as to this. And keep in mind, you're not going to be opening these right away, like in the prep phase. You're going to be saving these impacts until the thing starts. And like the attackers push it. Because here's the plan here. If the attackers decide to push into Teller's room and plant, you're going to have a Valkyrie cam somewhere in this room. And this Valkyrie cam is going to tell us exactly where the diffuser is, who's diffusing, all of that. So if you have impacts, or just really anything, then you can play vertically from both up and down. Usually people would like to plant in this area of tellers. So by having the impacts and or the camera, you allow your teammate who's playing in storage and the teammate who's going to be playing on second floor to be able to vertically control tellers. So you don't need to actually have a lot of man presence in tellers. It is circumstantially protected, let's say. So that's your Valkyrie, your Smoke, and your Aruni. Then you're probably gonna have if we really want to, we could also run a Jager or a Caveira. Jager is gonna place one of their things in this room in case any frag grenades come down from top. I'm gonna place another one around this area, wherever your Smoke decides to set up in archives. And then that's sorry. And then your final one is going to be going on second floor. Right around, if I can get there. Like right around that corner or this corner. Okay? And here's another thing. So your Valkyrie and your Jager are going to be playing top. Your Aruni and Smoke are going to be holding bottom. If you really want anybody else to be like hard roaming around the building, you could run a Caveira or a Pulse, whoever you think is best suited for that job. But the reason why we need all these people specifically for this setup, you should probably run somebody with a shotgun. You already have your Smoke, but he might run out of bullets from his setup phase. Because he has to open up a 1-4 wall, 1-6 wall. That's about 2 or 3 mags already gone. But if you do decide to run somebody with a shotgun, which is probably your best bet, it allows you to just completely destroy anybody in tellers. And that's literally the entire point of this, is that tellers seems to be appealing, but it's not. You can't just go for it. If you do, you're gonna lose based off of, like, you're gonna lose too many people in this room. Your last person is gonna be a castle. Castle is gonna put up a castle barricade there, and is going to reinforce, like, this entire left side of tellers. Except for the one wall here. There's a reason for that, because if you do decide to put up one of your reinforcements here, you can't cover this, and people will just walk through this doorway. And if you decide to put a castle barricade on the doorway, people will just go through here. So it's fine just to put these 3, and then save your final reinforcement over for this wall. Just to give some extra protection in the archives. So that's pretty much how you're going to be playing that. So to recap, you're going to have a Valcam in this room, you're going to have a Valcam in this room, and one in the basement. You're going to be putting the castle barricade there, one there. You can place another one in here, if you want to. You can shotgun a little bit of that if you want to and place something there, like a smoke canister. And that might be able to get through the wall if it's thin enough. Yeah. And then you can place your final castle barricade over on this wall, back here in the archives, to give your Smoke and Aruni some extra protection. Your Smoke's going to be playing in, like, this back part of archives, patrolling that, and also that. Your Aruni is going to be patrolling in here, playing in this room. You can watch the stairway, you can look up. Okay? And then you're going to be having a Valkyrie, and really your Valkyrie and Castle up here, and then you can have a Cav and a Pulse roaming. Cav or Pulse or Vigil roaming. Or really just any roamer that you want. It depends. If you want to throw in a Jager instead for the hard roam job, then you get extra utility of the nade eating ability. You can place one in storage, you can place a couple in basement, and one up there. But the whole point to this, you control tellers vertically, and if any of your teammates need help in basement, your hard roamer can come in from a different angle. The two people coming in from height can drop in behind the attackers if they do decide to come in through here. Or they can just wrap around with your other roamer. The thing about why we're having Smoke and Aruni hold basement, Aruni has a pretty good gun with the decent fragging power, and she can also eat up some utility, waste some time. The castle barricades covering the flanks waste time. The smoke canisters can waste time. That's the entire point of this, to waste time. If you don't want the Aruni, you can swap that out for a Kaid. You throw up a Kaid thing there, and you throw up another Kaid thing on this. But that's where you would put those two. But yeah, that's how you would hold those. That was longer than I'd usually want it, because it's complex. Usually you just have people on point, people roaming, but here, holding point is roaming, so. Take what you will from that. Alright, final objective. This one will be simple. Okay. Let's start off with
10 seconds left.
Mute.
5 seconds left.
Mute's gonna come in here. You put one jammer there, one jammer there. You come back here. You reinforce this. You place a jammer on this corner. You come over here, place a jammer on this corner, and that's your setup phase as Mute. Then you start off the round by just looking at cameras, seeing to get as much intel as you can. Then you're going to be having, I would probably say like a Jager. Jager's going to be reinforcing in garage. And since I'm probably going to be our Mute player, I know how far away I need to put my Mute jammers so they don't get destroyed by reinforcements. So that's not something you need to worry about. Jaeger is going to reinforce these three. You're going to put an ADS there. You're going to put an ADS here. You're going to place an ADS here. Like around this area in the cafeteria. Okay? Okay. That's your setup phase as Jaeger. We could probably run a Valkyrie. And here's what your Valkyrie is going to be doing. Valkyrie comes up, throws a camera around this area, and that should give you just a little bit of sight line onto exit stairs. So that's where your first camera is going to be going as Valkyrie. Your second camera is going to be going into this back hallway, like around about there. It allows you to see down this entire hallway and down that part. So that's important. And then your final Valkyrie cam, you can really put it wherever. You could probably put it in the objective itself, like around there. or you can place it around about here. And we're probably gonna have a smoke again, so you can shotgun this part out, and then you place your Valk cam like right on the top there. And that allows you to see fully into both objectives. But yeah, speaking of which, smoke. Smoke's gonna come in here, reinforce this part of cafeteria. Or no, wait. I meant the other wall for the Valkyrie cam. Puts it closer in the corner. Tucked away more neatly where people won't notice. Yeah. So you're gonna have a Valkyrie cam set up around there. We're gonna have these holes so your smoke can like toss smokes through it. He's also gonna be able to like shotgun this out, and he can watch over this little area. But yeah. Then you come over here and you reinforce this part in cafe, a smoke. And then you leave this one open. This allows you to watch over in between the black car and a little bit of the stairway. And then you're gonna make a 4-hole rotate in this part of security room. And then that's pretty much what your smoke's gonna be doing. You make that hole up there for your Valk, reinforce that, make a hole here, and then your job is to reinforce these walls in security. And that's your job. Okay? Your mute's gonna be holding in cafeteria. Your smoke's gonna be holding in security room. Your Valkyrie could hold over here in this part of the garage if you want them to. Or they can just be like soft holding. Like for example, they're holding over in the storage room or they're holding over in the archives. Either one doesn't matter. So that's your first three. Your Jager can also soft hold if they want to, or they can roam. I'd probably say roaming is a more viable option with your Jaeger since they don't need their utility up as much. Like they just toss down their barbed wire deployable camera and they're gone. The reason why Valkyrie wouldn't want to roam on this part instead of a Jaeger is because Valkyrie can still get value out of her impacts and her C4. But besides the point. So your Jaeger can really do whatever. Then your last person, Pulse, Caveira, any other roamer, what they're gonna be doing, they're gonna come up here, like as soon as the round starts, you're gonna come up here, and you're gonna throw down public bathroom reinforcement. And also the lobby reinforcement. And that just protects people directly on point. If you do want to make some swaps here, you can sub out your Jaeger for a Kaid, and your Kaid effectively can electrocute hatch 1, electrocute hatch 2, if that's something that you want to do. So yeah, there is that. But that's really the only purpose your Kaid's gonna serve. If your Kaid is gonna be played over the Jaeger, your Kaid can still roam, but mute probably would have a better time of doing it. But hey, it's really dependent on what we're playing in the moment. But that's really all we need. A Kaid / Jaeger, mute, smoke, Caveira Pulse, and Valkyrie. If you want to swap out your Caveira Pulse for something like a Castle or an Aruni, either one is still viable. You can toss up one of your things on there, toss up another thing here, or if it's an Aruni, just put it here. And then put your last barricade or thingamabobber up here. And that's pretty much how you're going to play it. One of the things you can do, you can get rid of the Valkyrie cam that you put over there where your smoke was. You can go all the way up to the top floor. You can come over to this window, open it, break it, and then place your camera like around there as soon as the round starts, and then quickly barricade this back up, and then you shoot out one of the boards, and then you run. And the reason why that is, here, let me get the camera. The reason why you would want to do that, it would make people think that you're spawn peeking, and they won't realize that there's more than one camera observing this area. The reason why you want to throw it back here, or if you can get it up on like the little balcony thing instead of the floor, that's great. But the reason why, it allows you to see who's behind the car and where behind the car. If there's anybody like directly in front of the reinforced thing, your Jager can probably just get a deployable camera, put it right in front of the white van, and that basically just fixes your problem. But that's how you're gonna hold that. See? Consulate isn't too bad. It's just a lot of windows. If you want to go for a spawn peek or a fake spawn peek, then go for it. Really your decision.